Good morning, church family. I hope all are well, and I hope today is a very special day of blessings for you. This morning, I want to have just a few words on the topic of criticizing others. I know that's a problem that I've had in the past, and I try to get that in check, but am not always successful. I hope you're more successful than I. When we talk about criticizing others, we're talking about actually judging others because others don't understand as fully as we do, we think, or they don't understand things in the proper vein. And so we tend to be judgmental about them. And our motives, rather than having a motive of helping and gently teaching, we sometimes stand in judgment. Christ had very specific instructions about judging, and in one word, it is don't. As we look at Matthew, the 7th chapter, starting in the first verse, there's a passage there that I was taught to memorize when I was in the 5th grade by one of my church teachers, and it has stayed with me till this day. It was taught in the King James Version, so this may not be a version that you are familiar with too much, and I don't see it too much these days either, but back then it was the version of the day. And it says, "Judge not that ye be not judged, for by what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and by what measure you mete, it shall be measured unto you again." It tells us in that passage that if we judge others, we're going to be judged. And the standard that we use in doing that judgment is going to be used against us. So for those reasons, and for probably many others, we're not in the business of judgment. We don't need to worry about the judging. We need to worry about helping our brothers and sisters if they're in need of help. And what does our attitude and our motive need to be when we deal with a brother or sister that we feel like needs a little encouragement or a little change in direction, but we need to do it very gently. Paul writes in Galatians, starting in chapter 16, starting in verse 1, gives us some idea of how we need to be dealing with our brothers and sisters. It says, "Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. But watch yourselves, or you will also may be tempted. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. If anyone thinks they are something when they are not, they deceive themselves. Each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. For each one should carry their own load. Nevertheless, the one who receives instruction in the word should share all good things with their instructor." Be gentle, be kind. When you speak to someone about any issues, keep your proper motive in mind, and the motive is to help them, not to impress them by whatever knowledge you may have. I hope today that you have an opportunity to reach out to someone and help them, and keep in mind exactly what our position needs to be. Have a loving, caring, wonderful day. Goodbye.